What if I told you that the key to true success isn't trying harder, but trying less? It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? We're all conditioned to believe that more effort equals more results. Yet, according to Lao Tzu, the ancient Chinese philosopher, the real magic begins when you stop pushing and start letting go. Now, you might be wondering, how can not trying lead to achieving what you want? Imagine a raging river. The harder you swim against it, the more exhausted you become and the less progress you make. However, if you allow yourself to flow with the current, you might find yourself reaching your destination with much less effort. This concept, known as Wu Wei, or effortless action, is an essential piece of Lao Tzu's teachings. Throughout this journey, I invite you to let go of the traditional mindset of relentless striving. Together, we'll explore the wisdom of relaxing into life's natural currents. Let's dive into how this mindset shift can change your perceptions, your actions, and perhaps even your life. So, sit back, relax, and get ready to discover the art of not trying. To truly appreciate Lao Tzu's wisdom on the art of not trying, you first need to understand a bit about who he was and the world he lived in. Lao Tzu, believed to have been born around 600 BCE, is a mysterious figure in Chinese history. His name translates to Old Master, and it's unclear if he was a real individual or a mythical character. Yet, his ideas have significantly influenced the spiritual and philosophical landscape of China and beyond. Lao Tzu is best known for the Tao Te Ching, a collection of sayings filled with life lessons and philosophies. Written during a time of social change and political turbulence, these words offer insights into living harmoniously with oneself and the world. Here, Lao Tzu introduces the concept of Wu Wei, which means non-action or effortless action. This doesn't mean doing nothing, but rather engaging with life in a way that aligns with its natural rhythm. During his time, China was undergoing significant political struggles. Imagine a country dealing with power shifts and wars, where leaders were constantly seeking control and influence. In this environment, Lao Tzu's teachings provided a stark contrast. By advocating for simplicity, patience, and compassion, he offered a way for people to find balance and peace amid chaos. Now, why does his idea of effortless action matter to you today? While the hustle and bustle of ancient China might be a world away, the idea of constant striving and pushing against the grain is something many still experience. Whether it's climbing the corporate ladder or dealing with personal challenges, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that more effort always equals better results. Lao Tzu invites you to consider the possibility that sometimes stepping back and letting things unfold naturally can lead to more fulfilling outcomes. Lao Tzu's approach encourages you to observe, understand, and then act in harmony with the world, rather than trying to bend circumstances to your will. His teachings suggest that by cultivating a sense of inner calm and aligning your actions with the flow of life, you might find that things often take care of themselves in surprising ways. Thus, understanding the historical and philosophical context of Lao Tzu allows you to see how his ideas about not trying originated and evolved. He lived in a time that, much like today, was full of turmoil and rapid change. His writings urge you to consider a different path, a way of living that emphasizes ease over force, serenity over anxiety. So as you explore the art of not trying, remember that Lao Tzu's wisdom isn't just ancient history. It's a living philosophy, offering valuable insights into how you might navigate the complexities of the modern world. As you continue on this journey, you'll discover the timeless relevance of relaxing into the natural flow of life, just as Lao Tzu envisioned centuries ago. Imagine this: you try really hard at work, or in a sport, or even in personal relationships, thinking that the more effort you put in, the better results you'll see. This seems logical, right? But here's the paradox: sometimes, the harder you try, the less things actually work out in your favor. Sounds strange, doesn't it? Lao Tzu's philosophy, the art of not trying, dives deep into this very contradiction. So, what's the central conflict here? It revolves around the widely accepted notion that effort equals success. But what if that belief is flawed? This paradox challenges the idea that constantly pushing and forcing things is always beneficial. Think about people who work tirelessly but still feel unfulfilled or unaccomplished. Or athletes who overtrain only to find their performance decline. Why does this happen? Lao Tzu invites you to look at life through a different lens. He suggests that sometimes less effort can lead to greater success. The paradox lies in how relaxation and ease can produce outcomes that striving and tension cannot. It's about learning to do less, but achieve more. Concept that feels so counterintuitive to many of us busy in the modern world. Take this example. You're preparing for an important meeting or exam. Most of us believe that the more we cram and stress over details, the better we'll perform. But think about the times you've gone into a situation with a more relaxed mindset, feeling less pressure and allowing yourself to be present. Often, those are the moments when everything falls into place. The paradox of trying versus not trying isn't just about work or performance. It also applies to personal relationships. Consider how sometimes in the quest to make things perfect, our intense focus and efforts can drive people away. It's as if the harder you try to hold on to people, the more they seem to slip through your fingers. Yet, when you give them space and let things develop naturally, relationships often blossom beautifully on their own. Why does this happen? Because life's true flow and balance come from harmony, not force. Lao Tzu's wisdom challenges you to trust in the natural progression of things. This doesn't mean being lazy or abandoning effort, but rather recognizing when and where to apply your energy and when to let things be. Staying in this space of questioning helps you consider the pace and rhythm of your own life. Are there places where trying too hard has brought tension or frustration rather than satisfaction? What might you gain by easing back a little and trusting the natural order? Exploring this paradox encourages curiosity about your own habits and assumptions. It raises questions about balance and presence in your daily life, nudging you to ponder how a shift toward less effort might unlock unexpected doors to happiness and success. How can leaning into the flow of life make your journey not just successful, but also more joyful and meaningful? Let's continue to unravel this mystery together. Let's dive deeper into this paradox of trying versus not trying by looking at a few examples. These stories will help illustrate how something that seems like a simple, abstract idea actually plays out in real life, often in surprising ways. Picture a young student who is very eager to succeed academically. This student believes that studying for hours and hours without breaks is the best strategy. Initially, this intense focus seems to work. Good grades start rolling in. But as time goes on, fatigue sets in, and those high grades start to slip. The harder they try, the less they seem to know. In the end, this continuous pressure leads to burnout. This student's story shows how relentless effort can backfire and lead to exhaustion rather than excellence. Now, let's escalate the concept with something a bit more significant. Think about a small business owner who starts out passionate and driven. They are involved in every detail, aiming to ensure the best results for their business. At first, the extra effort pays off, leading to growth and recognition. However, over time, the owner becomes overworked and stressed because they won't trust anyone else with responsibilities. They believe they have to do everything themselves to succeed. As they continue to push harder, mistakes start happening more often, and customer satisfaction declines. By trying to control everything, they are actually losing control of what's most important. Finally, consider a larger scale example: governments or leaders seeking to implement change. Many revolutions begin with noble intentions, aiming to improve conditions and bring freedom and justice. However, as the revolutionaries strive to achieve their goals, the situation can sometimes deteriorate. In certain cases, the new leaders become as oppressive as those they overthrew. The desire to force their vision into reality outweighs the initial ideals, leading to oppression instead of liberation. This heightened example reveals how the paradox can affect not only individuals but entire societies. These instances underline the paradox that doing more doesn't always produce better results. The young student, the small business owner, and the revolutionary leaders all demonstrate how overwhelming effort can backfire, causing burnout, loss of control, and even the opposite of what was intended. What lessons can you extract from these stories? They invite curiosity about your own life. Are there areas where you might be pushing too hard and experiencing diminishing returns? The escalation in these examples serves as a reminder of the possible consequences of excessive effort. By stepping back, you will see how aligning with life's natural flow, as Lao Tzu advises, could bring about more effective and fulfilling outcomes. In these stories, Trying less could have meant a clearer mind for the student, a better work-life balance for the business owner, and a fairer society for the revolutionaries. Embracing the art of not trying might be the key to unlocking unexpected results, providing you with a new perspective on achieving what you truly want. So far, you've seen how the art of not trying, according to Lao Tzu, presents a paradox in efforts and outcomes. But let's up the ante and explore what happens when things get truly serious. When everything is at risk. Imagine a typical workplace scenario. An employee starts feeling pressure to outperform everyone else to avoid losing their job in a competitive market. This person begins working longer hours, skipping meals, and neglecting family and friends. Initially, they receive praise and even some financial rewards. However, as time goes on, the stress starts affecting their health. They begin to experience anxiety, frequent headaches, and lack of sleep. But more than individual health is on the line here. Their obsession with outworking everyone else begins to create a toxic environment for the whole team. High stress levels foster resentment, burnout spreads to colleagues, and suddenly, what started as a personal struggle can impact the entire company's morale and productivity. In another scenario, consider a technology company pushing product innovation at a breakneck pace to outdo competitors. Every failed launch, every product that doesn't catch on immediately, feels like a catastrophic failure. To keep up, quality begins to slip. Corners are cut, safety measures overlooked, all to get ahead quickly. Customers begin to notice the decline in quality, but more importantly, the risks involved in using these products grow. A damaged reputation becomes the least of the company's worries if a faulty product harms someone. Every decision is fraught with danger now, as the rush to innovate at any cost puts both the company and its customers at risk. What about on a larger scale, such as the environment? Governments and corporations might focus on short-term economic gains by exploiting natural resources excessively. Initially, this might boost the economy and create jobs, but over time, the damage to the environment becomes evident. Deforestation leads to loss of biodiversity, pollution harms ecosystems, and climate change accelerates. As the stakes rise, the consequences become not just disastrous personally or locally, but globally catastrophic. Failure to recognize the importance of balancing progress with sustainability could lead to irreversible damage to the planet, affecting millions of lives. Why do these scenarios matter? They highlight a turning point where decisions must take into account the broader impact. The stakes are everything from individual well-being to an organization's future and even planet-wide survival. It's not just about immediate outcomes, but understanding that relentless pursuit without considering natural balance may lead to disastrous ends. So, what should you take from this? Recognizing when to ease up on trying too hard can prevent harm, whether it's to your health, dignity, or the world. Lao Tzu's wisdom on non-effort isn't about inaction, it's about thoughtful, harmonious action, steering away from potential ruin. Ask yourself where in life you might be pushing too hard, risking too much. The art of not trying doesn't mean not caring. It's about ensuring you don't lose everything by doing everything, emphasizing a balance that leads to sustainable success and well-being. We've taken quite a journey into understanding Lao Tzu's philosophy of not trying too hard. Now, to delve deeper, let's bring in some insights from experts who have explored similar ideas and can add credibility to this approach. Meet Alan Watts, a British writer known for popularizing Eastern philosophy in the West. Watts once said, "The more we struggle for life as pleasure, the more we are actually killing what we love." This quote holds a lot of weight and directly connects with what Lao Tzu teaches us. Watts highlights the endless chase of pleasure or success, illustrating how it often results in losing touch with what truly matters. It shows the importance of balancing effort with the natural flow of life, a concept Lao Tzu understood and preached. Now, turning to another influential voice, you can look at the work of Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, a psychologist known for his concept of flow, a state where one is completely immersed and enjoying the process of an activity. Csikszentmihalyi's research suggests that people are happiest when they are not forcing themselves, but are instead in a harmonious balance with their work or hobby. You might find that Lao Tzu's Wu Wei, or effortless action, shares common ground with flow. It's about reaching your goals without aggressive pushing, by being in tune with what you do. Also, there's Kelly McGonigal, a health psychologist who sheds light on stress and resilience. She speaks about how struggling against stress, rather than understanding it, can make things worse. Her insights align with Lao Tzu's views. Both suggest stepping back and working with your natural pressures rather than fighting them tooth and nail. It's like a gentle reminder to acknowledge challenges and adapt, not just to keep battling tirelessly. Bringing in these perspectives isn't just about saying Lao Tzu was right. It's showing you that this philosophy resonates with what experts in various fields have found through their research and experiences. It's about understanding that this approach to effort and balance is valuable, not only in ancient philosophy, but also backed by insights from contemporary thinkers. These experts give you a broader perspective, proving that the art of not trying isn't about giving up, but about stepping back to gain control. It's about letting the right amount of effort guide your actions rather than overwhelming yourself with endless striving. So, as you reflect on where you're applying too much pressure or trying too hard in life, consider these insights. Realize that knowing when to hold back just a little might open doors to more authentic happiness and success. Allow yourself to embrace this art of not trying wholeheartedly, and know that it's a path well trodden both in ancient wisdom and modern science. It's time to let go of excessive force and find your own natural rhythm, supported by those who understand the balance between effort and ease. Let's talk about why Lao Tzu's philosophy of not trying too hard is relevant to you and your life today. Think about the world we live in, a world where you're constantly bombarded with messages of hustle, perseverance, and going the extra mile. It's a culture that often glorifies being busy and equates success with relentless effort. But this endless push can make you feel overwhelmed, stressed, or even burnt out. The art of not trying offers a refreshing perspective and solution. Consider social media, a major part of everyday life for many people. You see people constantly curating their lives to show only their best moments. There's this invisible pressure to keep up, to always be doing something amazing, and to prove you're successful or happy. But this constant striving for perfection on these platforms can feel exhausting and stressful, pulling you away from being genuine or even happy. Lao Tzu's approach encourages stepping back, allowing you to focus on being authentic and finding joy in the simplicity of life rather than an endless pursuit of perfection. Now, think about your work life. There's often a drive to work longer hours to secure a promotion or recognition, but this doesn't always bring more fulfillment or productivity. The concept of balance, as Lao Tzu suggests, invites you to find what works for you naturally. Imagine being able to work harmoniously, focusing on what truly matters rather than just logging in more hours. Could adopting this philosophy lead you to enjoy your work more and become even more effective? Let's not forget the personal pressure to constantly better yourself, whether it's through diets, exercise, or self-help routines. While self-improvement is important, the pressure to constantly improve can become overwhelming. Have you ever thought that maybe cutting yourself some slack and embracing imperfection could actually bring more true happiness and self-acceptance? Lao Tzu's wisdom can guide you to make peace with where you are right now, offering a way to enjoy gradual growth without the relentless push for more and more. Current events and trends also highlight the relevance of not pushing too hard. Look at the rising trend of mindfulness and meditation. People around the world are embracing these practices to find peace and reduce stress. Doesn't this echo Lao Tzu's ancient wisdom? By incorporating more ease into daily life, you might align more closely to your personal and professional goals without burning out. In this fast-paced world, let's face it, stepping back can sometimes feel counterintuitive, but maybe the real question to ask yourself is my constant effort truly bringing me closer to what I want? Lao Tzu's timeless philosophy suggests that sometimes allowing things to unfold naturally might just be the secret to authentic happiness and success. So as you navigate your modern life, take a moment to consider this. Maybe trying a little less could actually bring you a lot more, echoing a profound ancient wisdom that still speaks loudly in today's chaotic world. Let this philosophy be a gentle reminder that it's okay to let go of the constant striving and just be. We've been exploring Lao Tzu's philosophy and how it teaches the art of not trying. Now, let's dive a little deeper and think about what this really means for you and me. Life often feels like a constant struggle between pushing hard for what you want and knowing when to step back. This tension creates a simple but powerful paradox. Sometimes, the harder you try, the less you achieve. So, what lessons can you take from this? First, let's consider the idea of balance. It's about finding that sweet spot between effort and ease. Imagine you're walking a tightrope, too much leaning one way, and you fall. It's about feeling your way, listening to what feels right, and adjusting as you go. Can you apply this idea to your life, allowing yourself to find balance rather than forcing it? Here's another thought. What about embracing the idea of letting things unfold? Instead of always planning every detail or worrying about outcomes, sometimes it's okay to trust the process. This could mean letting a project develop on its own, letting a relationship grow naturally, or even simply allowing yourself to enjoy the moment without a specific goal in mind. How might life feel if you let go just a little and allowed things to happen as they will? Reflect on how Lao Tzu's idea of not trying is not about doing nothing, but rather about being in sync with life. It's about recognizing when enough effort has been made and when to let things be. Ask yourself, how often do you really listen to your instincts, trusting that you've done your part? There's also a lesson in the importance of questioning assumptions. Sometimes, you might be predisposed to believe that more is better, that working harder, running faster, or earning more leads to happiness. But what if this isn't always true? What if real contentment lies in simplifying, in doing less? Reflect on whether your assumptions are indeed serving you well, or if they need reevaluation. And here's something to ponder. How can you find peace with imperfection? There's beauty in things that aren't flawless. Like a pottery piece with a small crack, sometimes imperfections tell a story or add character. Can you accept and appreciate imperfections in yourself, others, and the world around you? Lastly, let's think about the idea of letting go of control. So often, you might hold on tightly to control outcomes or others, but true freedom might come from allowing life to flow, trusting the journey more than the destination. How would it feel if you eased your grip and let things play out naturally? So, as you take these thoughts with you, ask yourself how you might integrate this philosophy into your daily life. Could trying less bring you more happiness, creativity, and peace? As you explore this art of not trying, consider it an invitation to step back and allow life to unfold in its own beautiful, unforced way. Reflect on these lessons and see how they resonate with your heart and mind, guiding you to a more harmonious way of living. As you wrap up this journey into Lao Tzu's philosophy, consider inviting a bit of the art of not trying into your daily life. Think about how much lighter things could feel by doing less and allowing more.